Ay, yeah, yo.
Hello, viewers. You're welcome, and you have just tuned in to an educative talk show on my crafts. And on this platform, you get to know so much about our locally made fabric, commonly known as Adire. And the most interesting part is that you also will learn how to make this beautiful fabric yourself. So, subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bell, like, and comment so that anytime we drop a beautiful video, you'll be the first person to view it. Thank you very much for subscribing. Today, we are going to be taking a different parts and we'll be talking on Adire itself. What is Adire? The first compound where Adire was made, and who started Adire? The uniqueness of Adire, the first fabric that was used, and the first dye that was used. So these are the topics that we'll be treating today. Please listen attentively because you're going to learn so much. Okay, what is Adire? Adire is a combination of two words. Adire, adi, are. It's a Yoruba term which simply means tie and dye in English language. So these two words defines the processes that this Adire goes through every now and then before it becomes a wearable hat. The tying process and the dyeing process. Now down to the first compound that Adire was made. The first compound was the Jojolola's compound in Egbaland. And the first person to make Adire in Yoruba land was the second Iyalode of Egbaland, the late Chief Mrs. Jojolola Shoeton. Wow, she was the first person to design Adire. Wow. And the most interesting part is that she passed this knowledge across to her children, and the children passed it across to their own children, and on like that until we also became a beneficiary of these crafts. Wow, I learned so much from that. And another thing that we will be talking about is the first material that was used to design Adire. So the first fabric used then was teru. Yeah, teru is a local fabric, and that was what they could lay their hands on as at that time. Like, there was no variety of fabric. There was no, like what I'm wearing now is silk. There was nothing like silk. There was nothing like chiffon. There was nothing like guinea brocade. There was nothing like satin. There was nothing like soft cotton, on like that. The only thing that they could lay their hands on was the teru fabric. That was what was available, and they used it to their best ability, and it became a pride to them, and it really worked well for them. Every one of them loved it because that was the only fabric that was available. And the first dye that was used was extracted from a leaf we call elu in Yoruba language, which is also known as indigo leaf in English language. So they extract dye from this leaf in order to be able to dye the design that they place on this teru fabric. Hello goes through a lot of processes before they are able to extract the dye inside this leaf. The color that this leaf usually give them is a dark blue, but in Yoruba language is known as aro dudu. And this aro dudu, a lot of our elders, even till now, they love this Adire Alaro Dudu. It's so beautiful to them. It's so special to them. They have this kind of attachment to this fabric. Unlike we young ones now, we want the primary colors, we want the secondary colors, we want varieties, we want the flashy colors, now. But back then, it was only indigo that was available. So that was the first dye that was used back then before the invention of the synthetic dye came about that we younger ones are now using. Like what I'm wearing is red. There was nothing like red in those days. So the synthetic dye enabled us to be able to use brighter colors and varieties of color. But back then, they only had access to just a single color, which is called Haro Dudu. And even till date, this arodudu is still produced. They still extract this dye from the leaf to make Adire halarodudu, and our elders love it so much. Lastly, I'm going to talk about the uniqueness of this Adire in ages past. Yeah, this Adire business, it became a family heritage to them, whereby if you are not part of the family, you can't know how to make this adire. You can't have the knowledge of how this adire was made. So it became a secret within the family. They called it a family heritage because they do not want it to leave the family. Until now, that even people like us that we are not even related to them have some knowledge about the making of this so-called adire. And another thing that was special about this adire back then is that every of their print has significance. The significance is so tight to the extent that this became an identity to them, that if they see each other outside their vicinity, outside their compound, outside their territory, they can identify each other with the adire fabric. And lastly, I'm going to be talking on the people that were involved in adire making. Women were majorly involved in this making of adire. Why? Because it is something that can be done in the comfort of their home, in the comfort of the compound. So it's something they can do in the compound while at home. They can still cook, they can still sweep, they can still lay their hands on this, they can still attend to this or that. So women specialized, they made it women specialized in the making of adire back then because it could be done in the comfort of their home. And also it became a means of income for them. Back then, this adire was only made to wear, and they use it as a covering on the wall. But now adire is used for so many things. It's used for throw pillows, like what I have behind me is a frame, it's adire. My backdrop is adire. The flower vase up there's an adire material attached to it. What I'm wearing is adire. So people have been able to make use of this fabric in different ways. It has become a souvenir in parties. It has become a gift, a box to a lot of people. You know, a lot of people have been able to recreate, rebrand this adire fabric. And it's so interesting. Imagine now I'm talking about a late Chief Mrs. Jidola Shueton, who was the second Iyalode of Egbaland. If she never passed it down to her children, I might not have been talking about her today. I'm very sure adire might have been in extinction. People like us may not have known what adire is all about. And because this knowledge was passed down, adire is in vogue, is the talk of the town. Go to social media. Before you scroll down to one or two posts, you will come across adire fabric. And I'm so excited that our fashion industry, they are not doing badly at all with this fabric. See beautiful styles that are made out of this fabric. We are able to walk around this fabric and create beautiful things with it. So it's a lesson for us today that whatever craft you know, whatever knowledge you know or you have, pass it down to your children if you still want this knowledge to stay alive. And I would also like to encourage women out there that they are yet to lay their hands on one or two things. They're just at home doing nothing. Please make use of your hands and learn a craft. Pass it down to your children and children's children. Let your generation speak about you. We have come to the end of today's section. Thank you for listening to me today. I hope you have learned one or two things from this section. If you have more to share, you can drop in the comment section. And if you have any question, you can also drop in the comment section, and we will reply every of your message, God enabling us. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Please turn on your notification bell so that when I drop another video, you will be able to have quick access to it. Thank you and God bless you. My name still remains Ifeoluwa Osaigbovo. I love you. Thank you.
Ah.